How's it going? I'm not in some kind of high-tech studio here. This is literally my storage shed. Hope to have a studio at my home set up pretty soon. So we're still just going literally right off my iPhone. Tell you, it's been taking some adjustment living here in South Carolina. Not all of it bad, but most, overwhelming majority of it good. But like, when you live in the same zip code your whole life in two different houses, you lived in a house that had one bathroom. Now I'm living in an apartment with two. It's like that's something. There was a lot of things we didn't have. I didn't have growing up, or I didn't have living in our home that we have now. A garbage disposal. I mean, I'm 56 years old, and now I have to get used to having a garbage disposal. An ice maker. Now I can forget the recipe for ice, which is great. And the oh God, what else we got? It's just great living down here in South Carolina. It's a lot. Some things are more expensive, quite a bit more expensive in some respects, but in other ways, things are a lot less expensive. I'm paying between 50 and 60 cents a gallon less for gas here in South Carolina than I did in the People's Republic of Pennsylvania. Yes, I am wearing my Yellowstone t-shirt. Love the show. Best show on TV. Had a great ending today. I'm not going to do any spoilers or anything. The only thing bad is there's only 5 more episodes left in this season. It goes so quick. And it just seems like yesterday it was the season premiere. And that show is... And now there's going to be not 1 but 2 spin-offs of it. I'm very happy because there's like 40 weeks between the end of a season and the beginning of another season. So we need something to fill us for us big Yellowstone fans. Other things I have to get used to is people being polite. It's unbelievable how pleasant and polite and just nice people are. Even down here, even the junkies are polite. No, yeah. Up in Pennsylvania, we had all the crude and rude New Yorkers that invaded our state. Now we're the infestation. I think Pennsylvanians outnumber local South Carolinians by a lot, and I'm just hoping it doesn't force the state to turn blue like Pennsylvania is. Pennsylvania is horrible. I know I keep telling you about that, but it's just a horrible place, and I'm glad I'm out of there. It's finally starting to feel like home. I find myself getting up in the middle of the night though, and still thinking I have to walk down the hall to the bathroom instead of there's one 10 feet, not even 10 feet from my bed. So there's that. There's a lot of other things that I really love about down here, not just the bathrooms. The beach, fishing. My sons and I, last weekend, we got our concealed carry permits. We all tested, took the course, and took the test and shot together. All 3 of us got perfect scores. The written test, Derek got a 98, Sean and I got 96. So I think this is better than what they have in PA, because I think your first of all, your concealed carry lasts 8 years. So yeah, to have to take a proficiency test with your firearm, I think is a good thing, not a bad thing. I think anybody who's into firearm safety, like I am, you should have to display a level of proficiency with the firearm to get the concealed carry permit. Up in PA, the sheriff's office just did a background check and you were done. I know a lot of First Amendment people are going to disagree with me on that. I think firearm safety is very important, and that's just the way I feel. I'm not. I don't think somebody who's never fired a gun should be walking around with a gun if they don't know how to fire it, they don't know how to use it. You have to have a level of proficiency with the weapon. That's just me. Oh, and the same day we got our concealed carry, we got our saltwater and freshwater fishing licenses. And last Sunday, my sons and I and my son Sean's father-in-law, his wife and his sister-in-law, we all went surf fishing in Huntington State Park. Beautiful beach. There's very, I don't want to say secluded. It's you have to drive through a marsh area to get to it, where there's a lot of really neat birds, big ass blue herons. But just a really remarkable place to go fishing. Just amazing. The sun coming up over the ocean, and then it got foggy. But then the fog lifted. And we spent pretty much the whole morning there. Went through a whole bucket of live shrimp as bait, and Derek caught, holy shit, Derek caught 3 fish. He caught a flounder and 2 whitings, and then Sean's father-in-law Junior caught a whiting and a flounder as well. He actually caught 2 whitings. He threw 1 back, and then we came back to the hotel and made fish tacos. It was really freaking great day last Sunday. Chris Cuomo. I really thought that they were going to do a backdoor thing like they did with Tube Steak. Tube Steak's back in his chair after boxing a clown on a Zoom call with the mute off. He's back there like nothing happened, and Chris Cuomo got the can. I would be really pissed off at Cuomo, if I were Cuomo, that he got the can, but Tube Steak still got the job. Now, Cuomo's gone, and it just so happens that Fox News Channel resident libtard in charge, Chris Wallace, he left at the end of his broadcast today. It was the end of his broadcast today, and he's going to CNN. Now, is he going to have a Sunday morning show, or is he going to take over Cuomo's spot? Right now, they got somebody filling in for Cuomo, for filling in his spot. Is he going to take over Cuomo's spot? If he does, fine. He's not going to draw much of an audience. Fox News Sunday really, it was kind of a premier thing for Fox News, and he was one of their elder statesmen. But I think maybe it's time for Fox News Sunday to change their format, kind of. Put Greg Gutfeld in there. You'll kill the ratings. Gutfeld would be great in there. But no, it's a hard news show, so you really need somebody hard news. Who's better at hard news, but on Fox News channel than Harris Faulkner? Harris Faulkner, though, got her hands full. The best person for that job is Julie Banderas. If Julie Banderas took over Fox News Sunday, that would be tremendous, because she's amazing at hard news, amazing with breaking news. Now, that's another thing I want to get to. The news channel's got to get back to news. They have gone through this election, the past election cycle, and the cycle before, pretty much being an overwhelming majority is politics. That's what I talk about, politics. You have your personalities on there that are doing politics. Your evening shows, which are commentary. Where's the hard news going? Because there are times when I get an alert, I have a scanner app that's telling me all these things that are going on, and I look at Fox News, And I look at the other channels, and they're not even covering it. There's I mean, yes, they've been covering these tornadoes. How could you not? The tornado was 1.5 miles wide, went 200 miles over 4 states. But they're still not giving it the coverage they used to. They're not giving, I really noticed it in the middle of last year when they were covering the riots. And then all of a sudden they stopped. They stopped covering the riots. And people need to see that. And I honestly think if they would have continued to show those riots, it would have affected Biden's, the outcome of last year's election. That I have no doubt about it. Now, media is still avoiding this racism shit with Darrell Brooks. All this shit, his social media presence online, it was clear that this man was a militant racist, was involved with racial groups such as the Black Hebrew Israelites. They're racist. That's like, I mean, they're anti-Semites, they're anti-white. So why is this not being covered? It's been covered a little bit by some networks, but not to the extent of what this fucking guy is. And now everybody's saying he should be charged with a hate crime. You know, hate crimes would be an all right thing if it was applicable to everyone. But it's not. This is the big problem in our country where crimes are being committed by one ethnic group and they'll put an enhancement on it and call it a civil rights violation, call it a hate crime, things like that. But then the same thing happens with another ethnic group. They do, where are all the hate crime prosecutions of African American men who have been attacking Asians over the last 2 years? Because of the COVID. We've seen so many, and it's always an elderly person, because these guys are fucking pussies. It's always an elderly person getting attacked, getting bricked, getting stomped on. Yeah, that this needs to be addressed. But they don't get charged with a hate crime, so they should do away with hate crime enhancements altogether. If you're not going to enforce them unilaterally, then you get rid of them. Okay, Ethan Crumbleys, Michigan. His parent. When I first heard that his parents were being arrested, I thought, oh great, here we go. They're going to charge the parents of this kid because they took his gun. But then as I've seen things, how they've been going on, how they went down, these parents really facilitated the crime. They allowed the crime to occur. They bought the gun for the kid. They didn't store it properly. Now, granted, it was bought as a gift. You can gift a firearm, but you can't transfer a firearm. You can transfer a long gun to a child, but you can't transfer a handgun to a child under 21. So this could also involve federal charges such as straw purchases, stuff like that. It was all over the kid's social media. The parents knew the mental state of the kid was in, and they still bought the Glock for him anyway, because the mother knew the mental state he was in because of the text that said, "Don't do this." So she knew what he was up to, and they facilitated it. So in this case, the charges are warranted against the parents. And now, what else do I got here? Oh, Um, I want to talk about Nancy Mace. Here's a section that I want to kind of add in on a regular basis. It's the STFU section. In other words, shut the fuck up. Nancy Mace jumped in with in a Twitter war pissing contest between Ilhan Omar and Lorraine Barbett, Colorado Congresswoman. Barbett's right for calling that bitch a terrorist. She is influenced by Hamas and Hezbollah. She's a militant jihadist racist. She doesn't belong in the United States Congress. And Barbett said as much, made a number of statements referring to her as a terrorist. And Mace took umbrage to this and got involved. Now, I'm new to South Carolina. I'm new to South Carolina politics. I just introduced myself to the Republican committee at Horry County down here and just this week. And I'm going out here and I'm saying, Mace, Congresswoman Mace, shut the fuck up. We don't attack our own. Right now they're going through that shit in the Democrat Party. Let them eat our own. You don't like what the other Congresswoman said, fine. But sometimes you just gotta stay out of it. If you don't like what she said, fine. Tell her privately, but don't get yourself involved in that shit, because you're affecting how you appear to your constituents. Your constituents, I guarantee you, a lot of your constituents really don't fucking like Ilhan Omar. They don't fucking like her. I don't fucking like her. Be glad I'm not in your district, because I might primary you. That's how mad I am at you. You got to stay out of that shit. That woman deserves every ounce of crap she gets. Don't attack another Republican like that in public. Another shut the fuck up is, ironically, for Kyle Rittenhouse. Kyle has taken a victory lap going around to all different talk shows. He's been on Tucker, he's been on Hannity, he's been on The Blaze, he's been around, and he's looking cocky and shooting his mouth off. And you know, if I were him, I'd feel a little cocky myself, and I would be a little angry and everything. But every time you go on these shows, first of all, these guys who run these shows, Carlson, Hannity, Beck, they're thinking ratings. It was a ratings windfall for Carlson to get you as the first interview after your acquittal. Carlson does not have your best interest in heart. And from appearances to me, neither does your lawyer. Because what you should be doing is what you should be doing exactly what Nicholas Sandmann did. And is stay quiet, stay out of the limelight, let your lawyers do your talking, and get fucking rich doing it. That's what you need to do. Because every time you make an appearance, I guarantee you've soured people. You may think you're doing great and everything, but I'm telling you, there are some people out there, you're affecting it. If you go to trial on any of these cases, you're souring the jury pool. They see you smirk and they say, and you say "fuck you" to LeBron James. I understand you saying "fuck you" to LeBron James. He's a piece of shit, loves China. Don't let them get to you. Don't let them goad you into saying something you're going to regret that's going to affect the amount of money you're going to get in these cases. Be quiet. Start a new life somewhere else other than where you lived. Somewhere nice and quiet. Like South Carolina or Texas or Oklahoma. Someplace welcoming to you. And keep your mouth shut and let your lawyers do their job. And your current lawyers, get him off of TV. Get him off of TV, because you're allowing him to hurt his case. Because if he becomes a public figure through this shooting incident, he actually could lose legal standing in his lawsuit. Because if you become a public figure, it's much harder to sue for libel and slander. So what he's doing now is also another reason he could actually have cases thrown out because of this. So please, Kyle, for your own good, stay away from the TV, stay away from the microphone, and get rich. Okay. Now, like I said earlier, I introduced myself to Horry County. It's spelled Horry, like Horry, but it's pronounced Horry. Horry County Republicans this week sent them emails and some messages on social media. Probably gonna see if I can post this on the this video on their social media. But we really oh God, there's so much more I want to talk about right now, but I'm going to save that for a video tomorrow. I'll probably be back here in my nice storage unit until I get the Palmetto Point Studios up and running, which is a euphemism for my extra bedroom. Okay, and hopefully this is well received, and have a nice day. Go Dolphins!